Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, the Ukrainian chapel at Hallmuir is a symbol of hope and resilience. The human spirit, beaten, defeated, but not yet ready to give up. And from the ground, it erected a monument to God. Faith, the human spirit, even the power of art, all combined to create what is from the outside merely a small structure. But from inside, it's actually quite beautiful. And it's somewhere where the prisoners would find, hopefully, spiritual peace during the war. Now, of course, these particular prisoners were Ukrainians, and they built this Ukrainian Orthodox Catholic chapel. The trouble is they were prisoners of war in the Second World War, which means only one thing: that they were fighting on the side of the Germans, and indeed they were. They were Waffen SS. They were the Ukrainian branch of the German war machine. They were. You see, what happened? There was basically a Holocaust within the Ukraine, caused by Stalin, who starved them out. People were eating grass, leather, rats, and eventually each other. This huge sort of pogrom that he had and destroying them. So when the Germans came marching in, many of the Ukrainians saw the Germans not as invaders but as liberators, and they formed their regiments and they fought on the side of Mr. H. Unfortunately, when they were captured, they were taken to Scotland. Anyway, they were in this prisoner of war camp and they built this church, and I will show you a picture in a moment. And it's actually quite beautiful on the inside. They turned what materials they could get into this palette of art on the inside, and it was actually quite good. And we will have a look at it, as I say. And it's still there to this day. You can go there, you can visit it. It continues to welcome visitors from around the world, and this is the thing. But it was falling into a little bit of state of disrepair. Not surprising, it was built in the 40s. And so it needed a lot of money putting in to bring it back up to what you could call its former glory. Now, fortunately, the Scottish Government, through one of its agencies, gave them some money, £50,000 to help bring this thing up. And there you go. So the Scottish Government sort of said, oh, it's a little historical building, we'll give you £50,000 and we'll bring this thing up to its former glory. And that's fine in principle. Let me take you across the Atlantic to Canada. And about 2 months ago, we have this big furore, and I did the story on this, where in the Canadian Parliament, they all stood up and applauded this brave and stunning Ukrainian freedom fighter. Before somebody pointed out that a freedom fighter in the Ukraine would have been Waffen SS. And so the whole of Parliament were up there praising the Waffen SS. The Speaker had to resign, of course. Unfortunately, nothing stupid like that would happen in Scotland. My dog is objecting to this video. Anyway, nothing stupid like that would happen in Scotland. We're going to take a look at this and very quickly show you a couple of pictures, because this may open your eyes. First of all, here's a picture of the inside of the chapel. And it is beautiful, as you see. It's there, it's decorated, you have those great big screens, you have like the triptychs, all that. It is beautiful from the outside. Unfortunately, there's other things involved. We have this picture, and if I can zoom in, that said, this cross is dedicated to those who gave their lives for freedom. And then, that some Ukrainian words, and that is a memorial to those who died in the war, those Ukrainians who died in the war fighting the Allies. That is a little memorial to the Waffen SS. Oh, and that's not the only one, because you also have this one, which I may have to, it's sometimes hard to read because of the scale of the picture. It's not great. And this cross is dedicated to those who gave their lives for freedom. And on the left, you see the official First Regiment of the Ukrainian Waffen SS, and on the right is the general crest of the Ukrainian Freedom Fighters / SS Division. And so the Scottish Government has given £50,000 of taxpayers' money, and it's given it to a memorial for the Waffen SS. It's not surprising. It would be a cheap jibe on my part to say that, because of the history of the SNP, because of them being set up, in admiration of the National Socialists in Germany, that we should not be surprised that they gave this money to a memorial for the Waffen SS. I'm not even going to mention those who ended up going and singing songs in the beer cellars to Waffen SS memorials in Germany. We've covered that story in the past. It'd be wrong of me to drag it up again. But that goes to show exactly the sort of people who are sitting in Holyrood at the moment. A party formed along the lines and uses the same playbook as the National Socialists, a party that goes to celebrate the brave soldiers who fought and died in the Second World War, and now a party that's donating money to a shrine for their fallen comrades who fought against and probably killed many members of the Allied forces during that conflict. Oh dearie me. It's very sad, isn't it? Anyway, I shall stop there. I'm not, like I say, this was just a little fun one. Fun? But you know what I mean. It just goes to highlight exactly what the SNP are and what they're like. Anyway, I shall stop there and I shall move on to my next story, which will be a bit more relevant and not delve back into ancient times and drag up the sad, sad past of what is effectively a very sad time, but a very sad party. But anyway, if you do want to go along and see it, do go and see it. It looks like a beautiful place. Ignore the history of it. Just go for the artwork, and then just laugh at the fact that the SNP seem to think that giving money to this sort of thing is somehow acceptable. I don't think it is. But hey, what do I know? Anyway, thank you very much for watching this one. As I say, it's very different in every possible way from what I normally do. But it was just something that, like I say, one of the good viewers, Ian, you know who you are, Ian. You brought that up, Mr. Greg, Ian Greg it was. You brought that up, brought it to my attention. I thought, you know what, yeah. Because it was on the Family Party of Scotland, I think it is. Scottish Family Party. One of their chaps did that. I will put the link to his video in there as well. I'll pin that to the bottom. But it just goes to show how bad the SNP are. We all know what the S stands for. SSNP, really, isn't it? Anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.